Brock Lesnar, a dominant figure by any measure of the word in both combat sports and professional wrestling, often clashed with fellow competitors in WWE. Known for his no-nonsense attitude, the Beast Incarnate reportedly disliked working with several wrestlers. Number 8, Chris Jericho. Even though Brock Lesnar and Jericho never squared off in a one-on-one singles match, Lesnar and Jericho have no love lost between them. In fact, it's all seated in one specific incident at the 2016 SummerSlam, where Jericho lost it based on Lesnar's performance with Randy Orton in the main event, where Lesnar viciously busted open Orton's head with legitimate elbow strikes. Jericho was outraged by this, and he assumed that Lesnar was shooting on the WWE legend. Jericho demanded answers backstage, and when WWE producers didn't clue him in on this being a part of the match, he confronted Lesnar backstage before it was broken up and clarified that Orton had agreed to legitimate strikes from Lesnar. Number 7, Matt Riddle. The former UFC fighter Matt Riddle was one of the most promising superstars for WWE in recent years, and one of the biggest names to come out of Triple H's run of WWE NXT. The original bro, however, may have rubbed many superstars the wrong way, including Brock Lesnar. Riddle repeatedly and publicly vouched for a match against Lesnar, but was denied the opportunity by the former WWE champion. The former WWE star told ESPN MMA that Lesnar came up to him with Paul Heyman and told him not to call him out. Riddle and Lesnar reportedly had a confrontation backstage at the 2020 Royal Rumble event. Things were so tense that these two superstars were standing next to each other. Alex McCarthy of Talk Sport revealed that Lesnar grabbed Riddle by the shoulder and told him, "Kid, you might as well stop saying my name and tagging me in because you and I will never work together ever." Even when the two shared the multi-man match of the 2022 Elimination Chamber, Lesnar had interactions with all the other superstars, other than Riddle. Riddle was released by WWE in 2023. Number 6, Jinder Mahal. In 2017, Brock Lesnar, who was then the WWE Universal Champion, was supposed to face the then WWE Champion Jinder Mahal at Survivor Series in a champion versus champion match. However, the creative plans soon changed after Lesnar reportedly refused to wrestle Mahal. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer reported at the time that Lesnar didn't want to work with Jinder, so WWE was left to change the title from Mahal to the phenomenal AJ Styles. And we got a phenomenal match between Lesnar and Styles, maybe one of the best from both their careers. Still, many are left wondering what would happen if we got Jinder versus Lesnar. After his release from WWE, Mahal sat down with Chris Van Vliet, where he addressed the scrap match with Lesnar, praising Lesnar and saying it may have been the right thing to do since both of them were playing heelish villains at the time. And he even agreed that Styles versus Lesnar was a much better match. Number 5, Hardcore Holly. Yes, this in-ring veteran was well known for being a stiff worker, especially with younger talent in WWE. Lesnar allegedly refused to put up with Holly's tough man act during their mini feud in 2004. The Beast also brutally dissed the former multi-time hardcore champ in his autobiography, Death Clutch. Lesnar complained about having to travel all the way to South Africa to work a live event with Bob Holly, saying, quote, "Could anyone please tell me why? I knew no one would pay to see that match. Since I'm not really needed, give me some time off. I really needed a break by this time, but John Laurinaitis told me how much I'm needed on the card against Bob Holly." And it's worth noting that when Holly and Lesnar did get in the ring during an episode of SmackDown in 2002, Lesnar accidentally broke Holly's neck. Rumors are that Holly was allegedly sandbagging Lesnar when the latter popped him up and delivered a powerbomb pretty ruthlessly. So Lesnar supposedly powerbombed Holly so hard his neck snapped, connecting with the mat. Number 4, Matt Hardy. Back in 2002, Brock Lesnar was the next big thing, the new big deal in WWE, a wrestling powerhouse on the fast track to superstardom. But his journey had a hiccup on a SmackDown match against Matt Hardy. The match was supposed to be a showcase for Lesnar, but things went off script when he took a chair shot that was a little bit too real. Instead of the typical carefully choreographed hit of a chair, steel chair actually busted him open. Being new to the game, Lesnar was absolutely fuming backstage. He wasn't just in pain, he was furious about the entire situation. You could hear him yelling and venting his frustrations about the accidental but very real injury at Matt Hardy himself. As a result, Lesnar and Hardy developed some bad blood between them and most likely hated each other for some time after. However, they were able to put it aside whenever they wrestled each other again. Number 3, Braun Strowman. So what was the deal with Lesnar and big Braun Strowman? It really kicked off the 2018 Royal Rumble. They were in a triple threat match and things got pretty wild. Apparently, Braun accidentally kneed Brock in the head, and it wasn't supposed to happen, and you could tell that Brock was pretty pissed off. He was genuinely mad about it. In response, Brock just laid a really stiff punch on Braun's face, totally off script. It was basically his way of saying, hey, that wasn't cool, slow down. That punch really showed everyone just how annoyed Lesnar was. Even though the match finished, the moment definitely left its mark. Most people think it created some genuine bad blood between the two, going beyond their wrestling storyline. It's a moment that fans and experts often point to as the start of something of real personal tension between Lesnar and the Monster Among Men, all thanks to this crazy, unscripted moment. Strowman, though, said in an interview with TalkSport that he and Lesnar laughed about the incident once they were backstage and went about their business. Number 2. Shinsuke Nakamura. Before Nakamura became the king of strong style in WWE, he was the king of strong style in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Brock Lesnar, already a huge star from his initial run in WWE, spent a brief but impactful period with New Japan in the mid-2000s. The two actually faced off for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship in 2006. Lesnar won that one, but honestly the match itself isn't exactly remembered as a technical classic. So, why did Lesnar reportedly not love wrestling Nakamura? It really comes down to a fundamental difference in how they saw pro wrestling and their in-ring styles. Lesnar has always been about intensity, no-nonsense approach, focusing on brute force and making matches feel like real fights. Nakamura, especially in his earlier New Japan days, was all about strong style, stiff strikes, submissions, and a martial arts influence to everything. The stylistic difference seems to have been where Lesnar wasn't quite on board. Reports at the time suggest that Lesnar felt Nakamura's New Japan style, with its strong style focus, was less direct. Aggressive brawling from Lesnar was his preference, and they just didn't click. Number 1. Dean Ambrose. So what was the entire deal with Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose before WrestleMania 32? It was all about their completely different approaches for that match. Ambrose was pushing for the super brutal, violent, bloody, no-holds-barred street fight with hardcore elements like barbed wire and thumbtacks, totally fitting his lunatic fringe character at the time. But then Ambrose spilled the beans on the Stone Cold podcast back in 2016, saying that Lesnar was, quote, lazy and just wanted a powerful, quick finish to show off his strength. Ambrose claimed that Lesnar or his crew shot down all of the hardcore elements of the match and his ideas. He was quite frustrated, feeling like he totally blew the chance for an epic, violent WrestleMania match. A lot of people ended up thinking the actual match was a letdown, mostly because these creative clashes were present, and Ambrose felt like they just missed out on an iconic brawling opportunity.